Hey YouTube, Formula Finds here. First off, I'm aware that the title of this video is a bit polarizing. And I'm also aware that, as someone who collects comics as well as books and magazines, video games, DVDs, that it wouldn't make much sense for me to take the statement in the title of this video as concrete or universal. But there are a couple overlooked points that I feel need to be at least reminded of when collecting certain things. Specifically comic books right now. I was at my local LCS about a week ago, and a person was holding a Harley Quinn variant, and they were discussing the differences between bags and boards, and when to replace it and so forth. And all that's good stuff, but it reminded me of a similar situation that I had experienced back in 1993, when I was a young kid in a comic book shop. I remember that day I bought the comic book on the right, the X-Men #1, for $2.50. It was bagged and boarded. And I also bought the Jimmy Walkley on the left at a $1 bin, unbagged, unboarded. And I didn't even know who Jimmy Walkley was at the time. Most people still don't know who he is. But I got it for $1, and I only picked it up because I think I had watched a movie or my dad had mentioned him, and he was a Western guy. I can't even remember. But the point that I want to make is this. Value will shift when the rarity and demand of a book changes. Back in 1993, a lot of the 40s and 50s Batman and Superman, the action comics, detective comics, really started shooting up in price. And finding one in mint condition meant that you were going to have a lot of money on your hands. Obviously, so with witnessing history, a lot more people began to bag and board their books, hoping for the same results. Unfortunately, this 30-year book is valued at about the same price as what I paid for it 30 years ago, about $2.50. Why? Because the rarity hasn't changed. Because everyone and their neighbor were doing the same exact thing. Back in the 40s and 50s, things were different. People bought books and they read them on their lunch break, like a newspaper. They'd read them and they'd throw them in the garbage. They'd do their math homework on them. They use them. They'd put their coffee cups on them. No one ever expected for them to shoot up in value like they did. And why would they? My point is that Jimmy Walkley isn't really popular. There are no new Jimmy Walkley movies, no action figures, but that's okay. I'm not saying you should buy a bunch of Jimmy Walkley comics, because they've already gone up in value for other reasons, and due to its rarity. What I am saying is to buy what nobody wants. Buy what people are throwing away. Buy what people are deemed not worthy to protect. Because if something changes, and it always does, those are going to be the things that shoot up in value. It's not going to be the X-Men on the right. And of course that theory goes for all type of collectibles. Anything in the market. Even the stock market. Anyways, I wanted to keep this video short. Probably should have made it a short. But I just wanted to point out that important key aspect in collecting. I don't do a lot of videos, but I do a lot of collecting. And I understand that we're kind of going through a period here where there's a lot of attention, a lot of eyes, and a lot of demand for certain books. And those books have nowhere to go but down. And it's always going to be the stuff that nobody wants at this point in time. And it's always going to be the stuff that people are throwing away. That could possibly end up being worth some money in the future. So with that, I'll let you go. And thank you for watching. And talk to you later.